Hi everyone, and like it says there, we're going to look at the interpretation of pie charts. So that just means it's reading off pie charts. And this one here, we don't have any specific values here, but it looks like from my cupboard, and this looks like some of my spices or condiments, whatever you want to call them. Nutmeg, garlic, salt, paprika, pepper. It seems that I've got an awful lot of pepper, so I put in the black and white into that pepper segment there, and I don't have a lot of nutmeg. So, but so hopefully you can see from that there I've got very little nutmeg, and I've got a lot of pepper, and kind of a wee bit of salt as well. So this is what pie charts are all about. It's the size of these slices here. It gives you an indication. So let's start going through this here. So um, just going for an example here, and hopefully you can see that. We're talking about the blood types of a group of some 720 people, and we get 3 questions here. Okay, how many are blood group type AB? That's question A. Question B. How many do not have blood type O? Be aware of that, do not. And the last one have blood types A. Okay, great. So let's go through individually. So that pie chart was a little bit small, so just magnified it, blow it up a little bit there, and then we're going to bring back the first question. So we're talking about 4 blood types here. I'm sure there's more. See the one that says 90 degrees? I'm just, it looks like it says type R there. That's meant to be type B. Please forgive me for that. That is type B, okay. So, the important thing is here is we definitely have a total in the group of 720 people. Very important, okay? So we're going to take that information on board, or on board. Yep, on board. Right. So here's the first question. How many have blood type AB? Right, so we need to go back to the pie chart and locate the AB sector or pie slice. Okay, so it's there. Get the angle related to that, 60 degrees. And we know the full angle is 360 degrees. So we're going to go and get a fraction. That 60 degrees is going to give us a fraction of the full circle, the full amount of the 720 people. Right, so there you go. That's the 720 people. That's the angle of interest, the AB angle we're calling it, the blood type. Just you write down um, what you think makes sense to you. I didn't want to write down here AB blood type because I knew what the story was, the scenario was. Right, what's the full circle angle? It's 360. Okay, that looks like we'll get sort of all the information I need here. So what am I looking for here? What are you looking for here? But the people who have got AB is a fraction of the total. So what fraction of the total is that there? Well, a fraction, well, we get 2 angles here. We'll get the 60 degrees in relation to AB, and we'll get the full circle. Okay, so that's where we're getting the angle from here, of the total. But you know that of means times, okay? And what's the total? That's a total number of people there. That's 720. Okay, right, so 60 divided by 360 times 720. What's your calculator give you? Whoa, well, I'm just changing colours. What does it give you? 120. Hopefully it gave you that. Right, so hopefully that wasn't that painful. And remember, I always say rewind if you're not quite sure. Right, let's move on. Well, this time here, watch out for the wording here of the question. How many people in this group do not have blood type O? Do not have blood type O. Well, that's type O there. 170. Let's go ahead. 170 over 360 times 720. No, I don't think so, because it's do not have blood type O. We don't want that. We want the other sectors. So there's certain ways we can calculate this. 360 take away the 170, because it's 360 is a full circle, gives you 190. But other people might think, well, why don't you just add up the other angles within the slices, 60, 40, and 90, and see what you get? You might 60, 40, 90. What do you get? 190. Is that the same answer? 190. Did we get 190 again? I think we did. So we're fine there. We're fine to go. So that is the angle of interest. Okay. Again, the total is the same. Not typo. So you put down whatever title you want there. And again, full angles 360. So that's the three things we need here. Right, so we're just going to go. And I've just put not hopefully you can write down whatever you want seems sensible to you. So not typo, what not O. The fraction on the total. So fraction, it's going to be a fraction that looks like my angles 190 over 360. Okay, of the total means times the total, times the 720. 190 divided by 360. Here we go. What's the calculator going to spit out here? Something like, let me think, 380, something like that. Yeah, there you go. And it's 380 people. I've not written people there, but I should have. That was important. But it is, we're just doing the little calculations there. I think, hopefully you're fine with that there. Right, okay. How many people in this group are blood type A? A, that's 40 degrees. Oh, I've not worked that out. So I'm going to leave that for you. Okay, that's one for you to do. It's basically just following the same rigmarole there. So we're just going to move on to another question here. Yes, Tommy, preparation and planning. So this pie chart here, it's talking about types of transportation used by certain students. It's 1800 there. So that's important. That's I think I'll enlarge that maybe on the next page, and then we'll get three questions. Okay, so the three modes of transport: car, sorry, the four modes of bus, walking, and bicycle. So we'll have a look at them and probably increase the size of this pie chart as well. Right, so we'll go for the first one. How many students in school come to school by bicycle? They must be in Holland or somewhere. It's definitely not in Scotland, because all their bikes would be stolen. Right, okay. Sorry, that's just a personal opinion. Right, how many come to school by bicycle? Come to school by bicycle. Right, bicycle. So that's what we're talking about there. And so it looks like I'm just dealing with this sector here. 160. That looks okay. That looks straightforward. So we're just going to go for that. 1800 is a total. Bicycle angles 160. You know the total angles 360. So I'm just going through this quicker. That gives me the fraction 160 over 360, and times the total times 1 times 1800, and by the magic of the calculator, 160 divided by 360 times 800, 1800. I think 800 somewhere. Yep, 800. That looks fine to me, and I should have wrote 800 students. But hopefully you're fine with that. Right, let's move on. How many students do not walk to school? Do not walk to school. Right. So what you thinking here? Do not walk to school. You might be thinking, well, I know how many. Well, what's happening here? Dislike that colour. That's how many walk are walking. 60, but it's do not. So just remember it's 360. So with 360, take away that. Or you can say, oh, just that, add that, add that. So you could add all three of those. But you know you're going 360 minus 60 is going to be the same as 100. Add 40 and 160. Hopefully that is the same answer. Right, so however you do it, the angle of interest here is 300. Right, so again, it's going to be angle of interest 300 divided by 360 times the total. There you go. Calculator time. What are we going to get here? Oh, 1500. Oh, there you go. Fandabidozy. There you go. Right. Okay. This looks the same. How many students come to school by bus or car? That looks okay. Bus or car? Right. Bus or car? Right, so we get two groups here. So it looks maybe that we have to add them. So that's the two groups we are interested in here. So that's not very. So hopefully 100 plus 40. You can actually do it another way. That's fine. 100 plus 40. That's what we're into. Bus or in a car. That's what we're interested in here. So hopefully the angle of interest is 140. Right, so that's why we've got that there. Again, the total is the same. It's going to be 140 over 360 times the total. Calculator time, and you're so good on your calculators that 140 divided by 360 times 1800 is it going to be 700? I hope it is. It is. Okay, 700 students. I should have put that there. Fine. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Right. Okay. Look, this just looks for another normal question here. Except they're not talking about students, they're talking about crisps here. Well, if you don't know what crisps are, then you need to put that in a search engine. But they're showing you there, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 slices of a pie chart representing crisp sales in a shop. Okay. Right, I've only put down 4. I know there's many more in some of my flavours, like pickled onion, that are missing, things like that. So this time they're giving you the angles, and the question is here, or they're giving you information in that 125 packets of salt and vinegar were sold. But they want to know how many packets in total were sold. Right, so we've got a fractional amount, the 125 of salt and vinegar. Okay, so we know that. So this is coming at it from a different point of view or angle of attack, if you want to put it like that. Right, okay, so we need to have a little think here. Right, I was just pulling it up there. So salt and vinegar, 225. Right, so salt and vinegar. The thing that's important here is the angle. Yeah, 45 degrees. So that will represent the kind of the fraction of the full circle. Hopefully that's okay. Some of you are very good at working these things out in your head. I'm impressed by that, by the way. Right. So this is what we're seeing here. So what fraction of the total does this salt and vinegar represent? Salt and vinegar, there was 125 packs there. Okay. And but we had an angle in there of 45 degrees. Right. And remember that the complete angle always comes in here. Right, okay, let's have a little thing. How are we going to tackle this? So this is giving us a fractional amount of total 45 over 360. Right, so 45 360 of the total is 125. We know that. Right, salt and vinegar, we know that. So what we're maybe simplify the fraction 45 over 360. Use a calculator or use your brain. So how many? Okay, so you could divide by 5 top and bottom. It would simplify it. Or eventually, if you use a calculator and a fraction, and even if you use your brain, it looks like it's a half of a quarter in there, which is an eighth. Just going back to the pie chart. So we've got an eighth of the total here is 125. So if we've got an eighth, then we need 8 times more. So how are we going to do that? Well, an eighth of, you know what of means times, that's where I'll put that there. And 1/8, if you're taking 1/8 of something, you're really dividing by 8. And hopefully you can accept that. I'll go back and think about that. Right, so that's what we've got there. An eighth of something is the same as dividing by 8. Right, and we want to get the total on its own. So since we've got the total divided by 8, we want the total on its own, and the opposite of dividing is multiply. So that's what we want to do here. So take that 8 up the other side, leave the total on its own, that'll be 125 times 8 there. Okay, and 125 times 8. Right, hopefully you can do that in your head. That seems like a nice number. So 125 times 8 is 1000. Oh, and maybe I should have written that's the total number of bag of crisps. Right, so I think um, I'm fine with that there. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with it, or I'm going to leave you with it, right? And just let me know, what is your favourite flavour?